Hi, welcome to day 6, and today we're back with a relax and unwind class. And again, we're going to start by lying down on our backs. So connect back with the earth. Take the ankles out to the sides, palms can face up. Close the eyes, bring the gaze inward. As we slow down, arrive here on our mat. Time for self-care. Time to unwind and focus in on the breath. First of all, observing the natural rise, fall. Observe it moving slowly through the body. And then we're going to start to extend the breath. Bring one hand to the lower abdomen, one to the heart center. And on the next inhale, drawing in for 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Continue with this rhythm, following your own breath count. The mind focusing on the count of the breath and the movement in the body. And then we're going to let the breath come back to the normal rhythm. Let go of the count. Observe the sensations. Observe the physical body, any tension. Meet yourself where you're at in this moment. And aiming today through the practice to stay connected, to stay present. We're going to open the eyes, draw the ankles together, release the hands by the sides, and making snow angels. Take the hands wide, point through the toes, and take the hands overhead. Full body stretch, and exhale, release the ankles, and again take the hands wide, circle up overhead, point through the toes, point through the fingertips, and release the hands down, relax the ankles, and again hands go wide, large circles up and overhead, point through the toes, point through the fingers. This time right hand holds left wrist, walk the hands over to the left side, keep the hips grounded, and the right ankle crosses the left, walking the feet to the left side of the mat, coming into a crescent shape, opening through the right side body. And again, maybe close the eyes here, gaze inward. Observe the sensations, any feelings or tension that you're feeling in the physical body. And connect back with the breath. Come back to the center, unwind the ankles. This time the left hand holds the right wrist and the hands go over to the right. Left ankle over the right, feet move to the right, hips stay grounded, both sit bones on the mat. Gaze up. Again, close the eyes maybe. And observe on the left side the stretch here as we open up through the body in the opposite direction. What may be happening for you? And then come all the way back to the center, drawing the soles of the feet towards the glutes. Fingertips touch the heels so the feet are hip width apart as we set up for our bridge pose. Pushing the hands into the mat. On the inhale, breathe into the body, and on the exhale, peel the vertebrae off the mat. Take the hands overhead, gaze down the body, squeeze the thighs together, and exhale. Slowly release vertebrae by vertebrae. Hands come all the way down. And again, inhale, flow up the spine, hands overhead, gaze down the body, squeeze thighs. Exhale, slowly lower the way down, hands come down, spine comes down. Last time, inhale, take the hands up and overhead, reach through the fingertips, squeeze the thighs, and exhale, slowly make your way down. Draw the knees into the chest, hold the shins, roll side to side. Crossing the ankles and coming all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Easy pose, taking the hands onto the knees. Push through the sit bones to find length. We're going to do a circle with the body. So roll the chest forward over to the left knee and drop the head back as you roll the chest forward and over to the right, making circles with the torso. Then round through the shoulders, draw the belly in, tuck the chin as you go backwards, and continue with the circle. So as you come forwards, push open through the chest, let the head fall back, and then exhale, draw the belly in, curve through the spine, and continue maybe closing the eyes as you take the movement, take the flow with the body. Observe the sensations and find your rhythm. And then we're going to come back to center and take the circles in the opposite direction. So this time, go forward, chest curved out over the right hip, knee, and then the left. Round the shoulders as you go back, tucking the chin. And again, continue all the way around. Let the head fall back as you come forward. Full stretch all along the spine, bringing the shoulders into the movement. And then come back to the center line. I'm going to take the feet so they're crossed in the opposite direction, and this time hands hold the front of your right shin, if that one is the one at the front, whichever one is at the front. Push through the sit bones so you've got the length in the spine, and on the inhale, draw the chest through, take the head back, so seated cat-cow. Exhale, curl the shoulders, tuck the chin around the spine, flow with your breath. Inhale, come through. Push the chest out, drop the head back, and exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. And again, inhale, draw your way through, take the head back, and exhale, round through the shoulders, tuck the chin in. Come all the way back to the center line, and we'll move over onto all fours into our tabletop pose. Fingers spread wide, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, pushing into the tops of the feet. We're going to come into a thread the needle pose. Take the right hand high, gaze follows, and then thread the right hand underneath the left. Shoulder comes to the earth. Pause for breath. And then inhale, take the hand high, gaze follows. Exhale, flow your way down, threading the arm under the left. One more time. Take the hand high, gaze follows. Exhale, take it all the way down. This time we're pausing here, right ear towards the mat. And maybe you want to walk the left hand forward. Breathe here. Keep pushing into the knees, drawing the navel in. And close the eyes. Observe the sensations in your body as we release it through the shoulders. And then walk the left hand back in and bring the right hand back to all fours. Reset for the other side as the left hand flows high, gaze lifts, and the left hand threads underneath the right, or left shoulder to the mat, left ear. Pause for a breath, and then inhale, float the left hand high, gaze follows, and flow it back down, thread under the right, come all the way down to the mat, and one more time, left hand lifts high, gaze follows, and this time we're going to rest down for a few breaths. Ear comes to the mat, maybe the right hand walks forward, square the hips, close the eyes, breathe here. Observe the sensations, different side of the body. Soften. Stay connected in the moment. And then draw the right hand back in and float the left hand high and come all the way back to all fours. Tuck the toes, knees together, sitting back on the heels. We're going to take the hands high, coming up, gaze to the thumbs, exhale, fold the hands in as you sit back down and float the hands forward. Forehead comes down to the ground. Extended child's, drawing up onto all fours, tuck the toes and lift the hips high. Take the feet wide, hip width into our first downward dog. Bend the knees, lift up through the tailbone. Pedal through the hips, move the hips side to side, release the head side to side, and then roll forward into plank, pushing through the heels, drop the knees down, untuck the toes, push the hips back into a child's pose. Lifting back up, tuck the toes and sit the hips back one more time. Lift up high, gaze to the thumbs, exhale into the heart center. Sitting back down, take the hands forward, flow the head back down. Coming up into tabletop, tuck toes, lift the hips, find the downward dog. Pedal through the feet, hips stay high. Flow forward into plank, drop the knees down to the ground, untuck the toes and push the hips back. Release the head, open through the back of the body. And then come all the way back up onto all fours. Tuck the toes again and come into a downward dog. This time we're going to pause for a few breaths here. Hands, feet parallel. Lift the tailbone high. Release the head. Observe the sensations. And then lifting the gaze. Walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Big toes together. Lift the gaze, exhale, fold your way down, lift the tailbone and root to rise, take the hands all the way up, coming back to the center. And we're just going to take some side bends, throwing through the center line. Take the hands high and lean the hands over to the right, hips to the left, bringing in the crescent shape in the standing pose, drawing the shoulders back. And take it in the opposite direction. So hands over to the left, hips to the right. Breathing into the side body. Come back to the center, bend the knees and flow your way all the way down. Release the hands, lift the tailbone. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold your way back down, release the head and take the hands wide, root to rise, up overhead. Hands this time over to the left, hips to the right, shoulders back. Come back to the center, hands to the left, hips to the right. Come back to center and fold your way down. Bend the knees, release the hands, lift the tailbone. And inhale, lift the gaze, straighten the spine. And fold your way all the way back down and root to rise all the way back up. Coming to your Samastiti, your mountain pose. Pedal through the feet, tuck under the tailbone and draw the hands to the heart center. Lengthen the spine, imagine there's a piece of string lifting you high and close the eyes, observe the sensations. Breathe into the body and opening the eyes, we're going to take a short flow, hands come high. Exhale, bend the knees, release your way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lift the gaze. Step the left foot back and we're going to come up into a high lunge. So tuck under the tailbone, push through the back heel and then lift the hands high, keeping the hands wide. Drop the left knee down towards the ground so you can feel the glute kick in and then straighten the back leg. so you can feel the sensation in the body. Little fingers turn in, draw the navel in, and then take the left hand forward and the right hand behind you, bringing in a twist. Keep drawing the feet together, and then come back up to the center. Take the right hand forward and the left hand behind you, twist on the other side, and then come back to center. Take the hands down to frame the front foot, pivot on the back toe, step the left foot forward to meet the right, halfway lift, exhale, fold and root to rise, all the way back up, coming to Samastiti. For the opposite side, take the hands high, exhale, fold your way down, release the chest to the thighs, tailbone lifts. Inhale, halfway, straight spine. This time the right foot steps back, keep the tailbone tucked, push into the heel, come up into your high lunge. Hands lift, draw the navel in, and then again, maybe drop the right knee towards the ground so you can feel the glute switch on, and then straighten through the back leg. Keep drawing the navel in on the exhale. And then take the right hand forward, left hand back, bringing in a twist. And then come back to the center. Left hand forward, right hand back, opposite side. Come back to center, hands come down, frame the front foot. This time step back into a plank pose. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, and chest, chin. We're coming down to the ground. Bring the forearms to the ground. Closer the elbows are to the body, the deeper the stretch in the lower back. Feet can be wide, heels turned out, pushing into the tops of the feet to switch the thighs on. Imagine you're drawing the hands into the body. Gaze ahead. Heart through in Sphinx pose. Breathing into the body. And then take the hands mat width apart, maybe lifting up into seal, slightly deeper stretch, straighten the arms, keep the hips grounded. Breathe here. And then slowly lower down, bring the palms together, let the forehead relax and move the hips side to side. Observe the sensations, let go of any muscle holding here. Breathe into the body. And then tuck in the toes, bring the hands by the shoulders, elbows by the ribs, push up onto all four and lift the hips, coming up into a downward dog, bending the knees and draw the right knee to the right wrist, right foot over to the left side of the mat and walk the left foot back, coming into our swan pose. Fingertips can come on in front of the right knee as you lift up. I want to square the hips, so notice if you're folding on one side or the other. And if you want to go into the full fold, you can bring the hands in front of you and maybe just stay up on your forearms, or maybe you want to come all the way down to the ground. So wherever you are, close the eyes, breathe into the stretch. Working through the hip flexors, through the thighs. And if there's any pain, coming out of the pose. And then walking your way back up. Take the right knee to meet the left in tabletop. Tuck the toes and lift the hips high into a downward dog. Pedal through the feet. Observe the sensations. Settling for a few breaths. Noticing the difference between the left and the right in that short sequence. And then we're going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist, left foot over to the right side of the mat. Walk the right toes back, square the hips. Coming up onto fingertips, either side of the left leg. Draw the shoulders back, swan, squeeze the glutes. And again, if you want to come down, maybe coming onto the forearms, or you can come all the way down to the mat. Listen to your body, what it means most in this moment. And again, thinking about kindness, compassion, self-care, being guided by your inner guru. Breathe in to the back of the body, deep stretch in the thighs. And lift your way back up. Take the left knee to meet the right. Tuck the toes for one last downward dog. Bend the knees, hips are high. And then lift the gaze as you drop the knees down, and we're going to come in to our staff pose. Legs out in front parallel. Knees pushing into the mat. Heels may lift off, toes towards you. Fingertips either side of the hips. Head over heart over hips in Dandasana. Take the hands high and then fold forward, bend the knees if needed. Index and middle finger wrap around the big toe in a yogi toe lock. Straighten the arms and then exhale, fold into the pose. Elbows out wide, chin lifted. Chest meets the thighs. And use the breath on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw yourself a little bit deeper. Stretching through the hamstrings. And straighten the arms, one extra pull. And then we're going to bring the right sole of foot inside the left leg. Left foot stays active. Take the hands high and exhale, fold forward, reach for the left foot. Straighten the arms and exhale, fold into the pose. Elbows lifted, biceps working, gaze over the left foot, chin lifted. Breathe here. Observe the sensations. And straighten the arms, release the foot. Take the right foot forward, left sole of foot comes to the inner right thigh. Square the hips to the right leg. Hands high, extra reach, fold forward, reach for the foot, straighten the arms. Exhale, elbows wide, gaze ahead. Breathe into the back of the body, observe the sensations. Where are you feeling this? And then straighten the arms, an extra pull, release the foot. And coming onto the soles of the feet, bend the knees upwards, hands either side, tuck the chin into the chest and roll your way all the way down to the ground. Bringing the soles of the feet towards the glutes. Take the right ankle over the left, a reverse pigeon pose, and draw the left knee towards the chest. Hands can wrap behind the left thigh and gently drawing the left knee into the body, pushing the right knee away from the body. And working through the hip flexors, so integrating this practice. And then let the right sole of foot drop over to the left side, left knee comes to the ground, hands out to the T position, and gaze, if it's good for the neck, over to the right hand. Maybe close the eyes as we release back to the earth. And observe the sensations now in the right side body after moving through this flow. And then draw your way back up to the center. Let the right foot ground, left ankle meets the right thigh. Thread the hands behind the right thigh and draw the right knee into the body. Keep the feet flexed. Again, integrating from the practice. Gentle pulses, draw the thigh into the body. And then bringing the twist, let the left sole of foot drop down, right knee drops to the ground, hands out to the T position. Gaze, if it's good for the neck, over to the left hand. Breathing into the left side body. And come all the way back to center, taking the feet up into the sky. Happy baby pose, hands may reach up towards the feet, thumb between the big toe, knee drawing in towards the chest, keeping the spine, the sacrum connected with the earth and the shoulders connected. Gently draw the knees into the body. Maybe roll side to side before settling for a few breaths. And then release the legs, drop the feet towards the earth. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees come wide up Baddha Konasana or Supta Baddha Konasana. Palms can rest on the thighs, elbows wide, or maybe hands out to the T position, or maybe take them overhead and hold the elbows. Again, you can close the eyes here. Allow gravity to connect the physical body back to the earth. Observe the mind and notice if thoughts are starting to wander. Come back to the breath. And if the hands are overhead, releasing them, bringing the knees back together and take the legs out. Find your Shavasana. Ankles may roll away from the body. Palms can face up or down to the ground. And maybe you want to take your legs up a wall or bring the cushion under the knees. So listen to your body and then close the eyes. Take a moment to scan through the body, all the way from the toes. Maybe move the toes, observe the sensations. Scan all the way along the legs to the hip joints. Find space, release, let go. Move all the way up the spine to the shoulders. And maybe lift the shoulders again and let them settle. Observing, tuning in to all the sensations, finding softness, finding release, and connecting back with the breath for the last few moments of your Shavasana. And then we're going to start to slowly wake up the body. Draw the ankles into the chest. Take the hands up and overhead. Point through the fingers, point through the toes. Full body stretch. And draw the knees into the chest. Hold the shins and roll side to side. Massage the spine. Take the hands to the knees, take small circles, push the sacrum into the mat, grounding, releasing any tension. And let the knees fold over to the left or right side, coming into the fetal position. So we pause here. Let all the energies realign. And then bring the hands to the side of the body. Slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position. And one last time, take the hands high, fingertips touch, and draw in to Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for connecting through the Relax and Unwind practice today, and sending love and light. Namaste.